think?
I thought it was a very fun set. I thought that you guys all had a very strong sense of how you felt towards one another. I appreciated, Will, how you used the space by going out into the audience first to start off the show itself and initiating that baby. I liked all the details. I think that the details that you all added really contributed to the scene work. And then what was the last thing I was going to say? I think that's about it. I think that and I appreciate something about, is it Rebecca? Mm-hmm. I appreciate this kind of like dry, pragmatic sense of timing you have. It just stood out for me somehow because it was just kind of entertaining because you kind of stayed the same energy level the entire time, but it worked for this. Oh, one last thing. When mother and daughter, I wanted you to hug like a mother and daughter, right? So don't be afraid of those places where you can really show true emotion. That's the only thing I would say to help improve.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, I just have like one serious question. Will, you can't breastfeed.
You and I should talk after the show.
All right. Shanda, you're a horrible mother. I'm just saying that, yeah, in a good way. Greg, I really like your character a lot, but I'm going to call you for something I was going to mention to Jim too. I don't know what it is, but breathing heavily is something that becomes kind of this thing to me where I'm like, I feel like it's a thinking reflex. It's done, and if I can auditorily hear you breathe on stage, I'm not paying attention to what your body's doing. I'm paying more attention to, boy, he's breathing a lot. He must be thinking hard. So I don't know why. All right. Let's bring everybody back up and we're sure.
All right, this is the time in the show where we do a question and answer session to help you guys, as an audience, better understand improv. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to thank our awesome sponsor for this evening, Kirkland Museum and Eden Bar and Cuisine Lounge. Tonight's winner, so the person who wins the overall show tonight is going to win 4 tickets to the Kirkland Museum of International Decorative Art and Colorado Art. Plus, they will receive a $30 gift certificate to Eden Bar and Cuisine Lounge. That's pretty fancy, right? Woo! And the winner of the entire season is going to win a $100 gift certificate to Reverie Climate. Excuse me, not a $100 gift certificate, but an hour-and-a-half massage. Right? Ooh. A night stay, a weekend's night stay at the Curtis Hotel. That's pretty fancy. Right? 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 Okay. And it's getting hot in here, huh? And then we'll also win a $100 gift certificate at Rialto. Yep. All right. Yep. This set was a lot about authentic characters, and sometimes in improv, where it's all about funny. So when you're trying to do an authentic character in improv, tell me about that. What was that like for you?
Difficult.
Really,
In the judging, Meredith talked about wanting something from somebody, so you have to identify what you want and then have a feeling toward that person, and it's not always the top thing on your mind. At least in my, it's hard for me. So, because you're worried about like physicality and thinking about all kinds of other crap instead of just playing.
It seems to also slow it down, at least from a cast member's perspective. The paying attention goes up exponentially to craft and make something that is three-dimensional and not just quick and witty.
You play it a lot slower because you're trying to get in the character's head and react how they would react without overplaying it and making it cartoonish, I guess.
Great. Can I get the house lights up? Does anybody in our audience have any questions for our cast, for our contestants?
Irish or Scottish?
Well, I go both ways.
She's a flip.
each other. What were some things that popped out in your scene that you maybe saw that you liked or that you participated in that relates to the exercise? I worded that well.
So like, what about that?
Guess what?
Yes!
The judges have deliberated. Let's bring them back out and see who wins Lanny's Clock Tower.
Cabaret!
Cabaret Immunity Challenge! They'll win 2 tickets. Ooh.
Alright, so your challenge was to come out and be authentic, have authentic emotions, not dramatized emotions, and to have fun and to use the space. And all of you did really well, and we'll just give you all a big hand. We had a tough time picking just 3 of you, but we did. We'd like to see down center, please. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It's time for judgment. Alright, I knew I was forgetting something. And now, so, we'd like to see down center first, Rose. Rose, we loved your character, we loved your emotional range, we loved you bringing energy into that scene. We loved how you felt very real to us on stage and very authentic in a weird situation. So we love that. We'd also like to see down here, please, Michelle. Michelle, we love how you start the scenes with a bang. Your first line of dialogue is always like a killer. It just jumps us in the middle of the scenes. Loved your character, how she was tough but soft, and she was crushed, but she'd gone through therapy, so she had an inner core of who she was. Really liked her. And you married me. You're not all bad. Which my wife says to me, so I like that. And we'd also like to see down here, please, Shanda. Shanda, we love the way you started out with that baby in your arms and how you were, you drove the scene. We love that you, some of your lines are, babies are extremely durable. Which, we did have a thing where it's like you wanted to get back in the womb, which seemed weird because nobody remembers the womb really, so that seemed a little weird. And the Xbox thing seemed a little unreal. But some of your actions were solid, dead on, and you played an awful person. Fairly believable. Only one of you can win Lanny's Clock Tower Cabaret Immunity Challenge, which not only goes with it 2 tickets to any show at Lanny's Cabaret, right over here on the 16th Street Mall. But also, thank you. But also we'll give you immunity and guarantee that you will be in the show next week. And that player is Rose.
Folks, we are going to take a 10-minute intermission.